Got a new review for you. Tastes Like Candy 2, Viciously Sweet by Jessica Lacy. The first book is my all-time favorite slasher, and this is such a excellent follow-up. Jessica Lacy's going through her back catalog when she was a independent author, writing under a pen name, re-releasing all of her stuff. This re-release is a complete overhaul of the more divisive original sequel, Tastes Like Candy 2 Sugarless. I got to get a free copy of this to not necessarily actually review. I got an early copy when it was still being edited earlier this year in like January or February. I got to read it, and not much has changed since those edits and whatnot. So I thought, all right, let's give it a little proper review before it releases. This follows Dusty. She's in a pretty nasty mean girl situation regarding her friend group, and she discovers something that happened a couple years ago, in which at the carnival there was a massacre of some teenage girls for the senior scavenger hunt that happens in their local high school, and someone is messaging her claiming to be involved in that situation, and sends her down this path of using her resentment and her insecurities, and puts her down this path of following the footsteps of the previous killer. It also follows Violet, the protagonist of the original, the final girl, and her dealing with all the trauma and the ghosts and everything kind of following her since that massacre. And everything brings back her right back to her hometown to face a slasher once again. This is an unbelievable, innovative book that blew my mind. I never read the original just because I heard kind of mixed things. So I never actually read it. I do own it, but having never read it and holding the original so preciously and close to me, I never got around to it. So I'm so glad that she reached out to me and was like, hey, you want to give me some feedback and let me know what you think and see if this is working? And yeah, it works. The slasher genre is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. And there's a lot of great stuff out there, but there's a lot that's just kind of formulaic. Like, as I said, Tastes Like Candy is my favorite slasher of all time, but it falls in the formula. It's just a very well executed, but formulaic slasher. But that's not necessarily a criticism of it. But when you're doing a sequel, it's like, okay, you can't do the same thing twice. And this is so genre pushing and innovative. Without getting too much into it, it's just the re-examination of both the slasher and the final girl in this book is so brilliant, especially for like the first like half of the book or so, is kind of game changing. And there's an element or two here that I don't think anyone's ever actually done before. So if you're a slasher fan, it's just gonna be so fresh and original. Jessica has such a specific tone and style. You're gonna really vibe with it, or you're just not gonna be able to do it, because while she has characters that are super empathetic and you just love, I love Violet so much. She is one of my favorite final girls, right under Jade Daniels. Uh, but she always has characters who are super annoying, and just their personalities are just a lot. It's just like there's just a lot of big personalities, and they're all colliding together. But in a way, for me, it's fun, and it's meant to be comedic and more lighthearted of reading, compared to a lot of other horror books. But I just love the characters. Whether I hate them, I love them, or I'm somewhere in between, I just think her characters just come off the page and is so unapologetically what it is in tone and style. It always reminds me of the movie Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It's just like a similar energy. And hey, it's a slasher. So what we gotta talk about? We gotta talk about kills. And Jessica writes some of the best kills in literature right now. I think her kills are awesome. They're brutal, they're visceral, and they're creative and so inventive. She really uses the world as her sort of sandbox to just come up with like really creative, insanely violent kills. Even though this is YA, it doesn't really feel YA. There's some stuff that's very much intended for a younger audience, and this is very much the category of it's YA, but really I would recommend this for adults only. because, man, some nasty, mean, brutal last kills in this book. Yeah, I can't say enough great things about this book. I think Jessica Lacy is the master slasher writer working today. I really don't think anyone even really comes that close to her. And in a world of horror authors like myself who tend to write more serious, dark, bleak type of work, hers has the substance there thematically and narratively. What she's saying is really thoughtful and profound, but also they're just fun as fuck books. And I love authors who write the really depressing, dreadful stuff, but it's also nice to be reading something and laughing in between the scares and the thrills. Tastes Like Candy 2 Viciously Sweet comes out September 22nd. Let me know if you're gonna pre-order this one. I have my copy pre-ordered, and I just got the email from Barnes & Noble that my copy will be arriving soon, so I cannot wait to have it up on my shelf with the original Ivy Tholen books and Jessica's released works. And for me, you can check out my book Unfold, and you can check out my Substack, which I post on every Sunday.